Hi everyone, Jen here. I know there's not a lot of you in this group that are very active, but at least I figured I'd share with you what oils and oil-infused products I use to keep myself physically, mentally, and emotionally sane, especially this week with all the challenges and life circumstances that have been coming up. Alright, so I'm just going to get right to it because the sun is fading and I need all the sun I can get because I haven't really had a lot of time to do all this. I do have my little light on for getting the bugs out, so out here, so it's a little bit better. Alright, so if you haven't heard already, this past Sunday night, my grandfather fainted while trying to go to the bathroom, and we found out he had really low blood pressure, and basically his heart was an issue. So his top heart was not working with the bottom heart electronically, and so he had to have a pacemaker put in, and so he was fighting it for a little bit, and then we thought he was just gonna die because he didn't want it originally, and then he was like, he didn't know what he was doing and stuff like that. So finally he agreed to get a pacemaker in. He recently got the pacemaker in, but then he had to go to rehab, and he didn't like being at rehab, so he was just admitted there yesterday. And so he is now, he had an infection in his chest, and he's got apparently diverticulitis now. So we just definitely had to change a lot of things, and he had the surgery and he's retaining water somewhat, but he's at rehab and he's working on the rehab, and it's working out really good. So when all this was going down, I was basically having a crazy panic attack and, all this other shit that was going on. And I didn't know what to do, and I didn't really have my oils to help me out or anything like that. So actually, I stayed cool as long as I could, because I'm actually one of the stronger people. I survive or whatever. And I didn't have any of my oils on me to help me out. Normally I do like base ones. And Stress Away and things like that. So luckily I ended up having a sample in my pocket, because when I was having these, we found out that he didn't want to do anything, and I'm like, okay, well, if that's the case, he might not be here that long. I mean, he is 94 going on 95 in September. He's had a long life. It is that time, where it's just like, okay, time to say goodbye type of things. And it was really hard for me for a little bit. And I kept having to step out and just kind of catch my breath, a lot, and just kind of fight with the emotions, and then just have my cry session, and start being able to try to breathe through it. Because y'all know when you have one of those attacks, your body just decides to do all sorts of crazy things that you can't control. And I didn't have my Stress Away, which is one of the very good ones to have when you're having an issue like that. But I did by chance have a sample in my pocket of rose oil. Okay, so here's the little sample I had that my friend Amanda sent me in the mail a couple years ago. And I just happened to take it that day because I'm like, okay, rose oil is the highest frequency oil we have. And I've never been really a rose person at all. It was like a little too strong for me. It never really worked for me, whatever. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to want to have as much positive vibrations as I can, because we all know, if you go into my spiritualist group, we're all made out of energy, and we want to stay as high vibrational as we can. So this being one of the highest vibrational oils, as well as sacred frankincense and frankincense, one of the top three, these will help you raise your vibration so that muck and the negative stuff and what's happening and the stress and stuff won't get to you as much. So it's kind of like a barrier. So I was able to be in there, and I was just, like I said, I didn't have my Stress Away there, which was what I would have used, because I've been dealing with a lot of stuff with the recent move and things in the house, and trying to get everything organized, and my new job that I just started 2 days ago or 3 days ago. So I was just like, everything's just thrown at me all of a sudden. So what I ended up doing is I just kind of like rubbed the roll-on around my nose, just under my nose, like how you would do like other people would do like Vicks or something, and then on my throat. Now this one, it's a little scratchy because the little ball thing is a little bit tighter, so it doesn't work as well, so it's a little bit scratchy. So instead of doing that and scratching up my throat, what I ended up doing is I knew the best part was the bottoms of our feet, because when we want to put the oils on, we want them to get to our body faster and the quickest. The biggest organ is our skin, right? So it wants to break through the and I forgot what the you have to bear with me because all the stress is causing me to like forget my numbers. It's the brain something barrier. I said it in another video. I'll say it in another one. But you have to bear with me. It's late and I'm kind of like woo from the day. I might remember it later. But anyways, my point being, you put it on the bottoms of your feet, it gets to the whole entire body a lot faster than, say, if you take it internally this way or something like that. So I'm like, you know what? I need this as fast as I can get it. So I just sat in a chair, and being in the ICU, I was like, okay, I know a lot of people are having issues. They're having, their parents are deceased or dying, and, everybody's having meltdowns or whatnot. So I'm like, I'm just going to take off my shoes and rub this all over my feet right now because I don't give a crap about how it looks. So I just took off my shoes right there, sat in a chair, rubbed this all over my feet. I can't do it right now because the table's in the way, but and then it actually smelled good, and then it made my shoes smell good, and it really did calm me down. It did. I mean, it calmed me down a lot more than I figured it would, and I was actually quite surprised. Me being surprised about these oils is actually silly because I know that they work, but me not using them all the time, I'm like surprised when I actually use them and I need them, and then they work, and I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's right. I've been preaching it, that they're working and everything, and I just never actually did it to the point where it just really actually, I sat down and I'm like, okay, because I grew up, firm and stuff, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go through life, whatever, I'm gonna do it a little bit, whatever, if I feel a little bit weird, so I did that, and it got me through the night, actually very good. I was having a gag reflex because of my emotions being all friggin' messed up, and then by putting that on there, it also calmed me down to the point where I wasn't really having that as much. Now granted, the longer I stayed in that floor, the longer I wasn't getting any communication between the departments and things, and my grandmother was freaking me out, and I had to deal with that. The longer I was getting still upset, and the more I used this, and the more I'm like, okay, I need to get out of the situation too. So luckily we ended up moving upstairs, and he got put into a room, and it helped. And it was more calm up there as well. So I was very, very glad that the universe and God helped me do that as well. So that was Sunday night. And we were there from 1 o'clock in the morning until 11 a.m. in the morning, almost afternoon. So then we came home, and I went to bed and tried to do stuff, and then I had to deal with my work and stuff, so I was getting stressed out about that too. And then you guys know me and driving, I don't like to drive, and I have a fear of driving and getting in there, so I'm just freaking out. I'm like, oh, and I didn't have my Valor. I didn't have my Valor with me, and I have a Valor roll-on in my thing, but I didn't have it in my purse, because I don't carry a purse, I just do my pockets, and we were, had to do it right away, and so I couldn't grab anything. I just, grab mom, put her in the thing, rush to the hospital, and get there as soon as you can and deal with that. You don't really think about having it on hand in your pockets all the time or having your purse. I do have a purse that's got most of my essential oils in, but it was upstairs and it's more of a bulky one, so I didn't have like a hands-on smaller one that I could just use right away. So anyways, we dealt with that. I was going back and forth for a couple days with my brother. That night, what I ended up doing was using Cool Azul for my back from sitting in the chairs all day and being on my feet, which is really good. Cool Azul pain cream, and this is FDA approved to say it works for arthritis, okay, and it works for pain. It even says on the back here, temporarily relieves minor aches and pains of muscles and joints associated with simple backache, arthritis, strains, bruises, and sprains. So that's all right there. Okay, FDA approved. The other stuff's not FDA approved, so I'll talk to you a little bit about that. But I use this with that, and then when I had to go to work on Wednesday, my first day at work, and I was standing all day, very good for putting it on my back, for my lower back, because I was using muscles that I didn't have to use because I was running around a lot, tinting paint and things, because I got a job at Sherwin-Williams. And so a lot of that was helping me out too, because I have had a sit-down job almost all the other jobs before this one, so I never used my muscles in my back as much. Yep, that's a bee. Sorry, I just hit the bee, and it didn't sting me, thank God. If that was the case, I would have used lavender and, pan away for the pain. Pan away. But luckily that didn't happen. But anyway, so after that, in the morning, I woke up and I had extreme head tension. Extreme head tension, like, probably from all the stress I was under. So then I'm like, okay, you know what I need to do? I need to release all the pent-up energy, release all the stress, release all the feelings of, the craziness I was going through. So I ended up getting my release roller out. So here's release, and I had made it into a roller 3 years ago when I had moved into my apartment in Elma. And I was having family issues back then, and I was going through a lot of ups and downs then too, with family issues then, not like this, but financial contention between the ranks, so to speak. And so I needed to release all that, and the naysayers that were talking bad about me and things like that. So then I was using this, which has got Yang Lang in it, olive oil, which is the carrier oil, geranium, lavender, Royal Hawaiian sandalwood, grapefruit, tangerine, spearmint, lemon, blue cypress, Divana, which is one of the new ones now that they made as a single that just came out at convention. And that one is really cool because it actually changes to each person depending on their skin and their chemistry. So that's really cool. It's the first time I've ever heard of an oil that actually you can put it on you and it smells different depending on your chemistry and your hormones. So that's awesome. And then there's a name for how it does that. I don't know what it is, but... and then it's got kefir lime, Octea, jasmine, Martriciana, I don't know that one, blue tansy, and rose. Rose being the high, raising your vibration oil. So anyways, I was using that for a while. It was working okay. But then like stuff kept coming up and I'm just like, I'm not getting the full, release of it that I needed to. And I just keep getting hit with different things. So that night I wasn't really sleeping very well. So then I decided to do a couple other things. I did Raven. I put it in my diffuser because it's very much similar to camphor. It's got like, it's got camphor in it. The first ingredient is camphor. So I did that, and then it's got lemon, wintergreen, and peppermint. And eucalyptus is the last one. So it's very good for opening up the airwaves and making it so that you have more oxygen flow so you can breathe better. And we all know that when we're stressed out and we're having an attack, we cannot breathe correctly because our emotions are hyperventilating our lungs and our circulatory system, and we're going into overdrive. So by sniffing this and having this in the diffuser at night, it actually helped me calm down more, and it got more oxygen to me so I could get a better night's rest. Because when we sleep, we need to regenerate. So when we regenerate, it smells so good. It's like a very minty version of Vicks Vapor Rub. And it's way healthier for you guys. Way healthier. Less chemicals, less adjectives, less complications. So I did that, and that was helping me out too, while we were sleeping. And then I also started to take out my really old one, which I don't know if they still have this one now, but this is when I got it way back in 2015 when I first got my kit, Rudavella, which I'll explain what it's in it in a minute. But it's a roll-on, so it's automatically diluted, so you can just roll it on, put it on your nose, whatever you need to do. Not in your nose, never put it in your orifices. Don't do that, that's not smart. But if you put it like right here or on your sinuses, or even just on your hands and rub your hands around your pillow or something like that, it works great. And then on the back of your neck and on your pulse points, or on your ears. When you're trying to relax, definitely use your earlobes and your ears. Like, I don't know how that works very well, but it works awesome. But this has got lavender oil in it, valerian, which is a very old oil or old thing that they used to use back in the day to calm people down. You can look up valerian on Google, and then they'll tell you that back in the old days in like the 1800s, back in the 1800s, they used to use it to calm down people who were having crazy attacks, like in the old days. And they'd be like, all right, have some valerian to calm yourself down because you're being hysterical because of whatever was happening with them. And then it's got rue, R-U-E oil, which is another calming oil. I have to look that one up a little more because I'm not very familiar with that one. But this is why it's so much fun to use essential oils, because you get to look up things, and me being a green personality, I love learning. So that's always fun. But this is very, I didn't use this a lot because it, like, to me back then it smelled like crap. It was just, and back in the day, when I first got my kit, they always used to tell me when an oil smells bad, you need it. And then when it smells okay, you don't need it as much. But this one was always too strong for me, but it also has to deal with the fact that you get acclimated to it as you use it. The fly's like, I want that oil. So it's very kind of like, even just breathing it in, you're like, you're just like, okay. It's almost as if you have that release when you're at the beach and you're just like, and you have the waves up on the beach and your feet are in the sand. You're just able to relax. You're just able to, like, all your body's just like, okay, I don't have to tense up anymore. I can just relax and release the tension. So I did that a couple nights too, but then I would wake up so groggy in the morning that I'm like, oh, I have to go function and I have to go to work, or I have to go and do this errand, or I have to run into the hospital where I'm going to be like upset because of traffic and construction and this and this and that. And I don't know where I'm going. So that didn't really help me in the morning when I had to get going. So then I had to, not do that one as much, because if it was just a normal day and it was a Saturday, I didn't have to do anything. I could wake up and be okay. So then on that one, I just ended up using lavender in my diffuser. And then that worked pretty good. Or I just put lavender on my face and then on my hands and then on my pillow. So I did those. And then we got word that Grandpa's getting better and he was all good. And then I started, like I said, that one day I woke up and there was insane head tension. So while using the Cool Azul, for that, I also put Deep Relief on my temples. Just to be like, okay, I'm getting rid of this. This is crazy. I can't function with this. It was 8 o'clock in the morning and it was a slamming pounding. And you guys who get those know those kind of head tensions and head issues. They're not funny. You got to take the medicine over the counter, and it takes about half an hour for it to take effect, and I did not have a half an hour to wake up because I had to do stuff. So I did not have time. So I just rubbed this on, put this also on my forehead too, and, and within a couple minutes, it actually relieved it a lot. And this Deep Relief, this is one of the newer ones that I got. I got an old one that's all scratched up because I used it all the time. First one's peppermint. We all know peppermint's really good for opening up the airwaves and your capillaries and things like that. So that was very good. And then you've got lemon, balsam Canada, clove, balsam copiaba, the coconut oil, which is a carrier oil, your wintergreen, your vetiver. Now that's another calming oil. That's kind of cool and good. And Dordu Azul, which is also in here, which is basically also associated with Panaway. If you see Panaway's got Dordu Azul as well, which is a good one for nerves and things like that. So that's what I used for that as well. And then towards the end, when it was looking like he didn't want the pacemaker in, it was getting kind of intense. And so I'm like, okay, well, are we going to have to say goodbye? So that was coming up, and a lot of those issues were surfacing. And I was like, okay, I don't have the roller on right now, right down here, but I have the oil that's in the roller. So what I ended up doing is I think it was last month, I ended up going to an essential oil and astrology class that my upline was doing, Amanda, the same one that gave me the sample for the rose. And we made our oil blends based on our zodiac signs. And so I'm an Aquarius, so we made an Aquarius one for me, and the oil that was chosen, of course, was Hope, which was one of the best ones for me. Now, you can see how scratched up this bottle is because I use it like all the time, because I always like with my life, I need a lot of hope. And it gets stuck in my pocket where I have my gemstones and my crystals, which are sharp and they kind of scratch the label and stuff. But there's still quite a lot in here. But this has also got, I gotta peel the label because this has got a bunch of other stuff in it. Haven't peeled the label off in a while. But the one that I had Aquarius on it, and it was a blue one like this, but it had a little label that said Aquarius. And it had like the water bearer in it. And it was really cool. And this one's just got Melissa oil on it, which Melissa, if you have any oil, that is the top oil for getting you to be positive thinking, raising your vibrations, anything. It's Melissa oil. If you're having a lot of issues with a lot of life circumstances and you're just feeling like you can't get out of it, you need to focus on doing Melissa as well. Now, Melissa is an oil that takes on, which is really weird, it takes on the energy that's around it. So in our Melissa fields, Gary Young would not let anybody who smoked, or basically were no smokers there, or people who were drinking alcohol or anything like that, or even you'd be very quiet and you're very gentle, and before you go to the field, you got to be like, okay, you feel the energy of the people, and if they're kind of like in a negative attitude, he won't let them on the farm, because the plants will feel that energy and they'll retain it, which means it's in the oil. It's one of the only oils that does that. It's like weird. It's like, I know how like photosynthesis with the plants, it's more like energy synthesis. Because it goes, if you going into that one, you could go into the whole idea that we're all made up of atoms, and atoms vibrate at a certain level, and that we're all energy, and energy takes on form, which means it takes on energy, vibrations, which are also emotions. So Melissa is one of the most high potential oils that take on emotions, and it's the best one for recentering you to your best qualities. But if you're not feeling good, Gary also advised that if you're not 100% feeling good and you're just extremely resentful with everything that's going on, don't use Melissa yet. Use it after the grieving process. You might be able to use it in the beginning to get you kind of up a little bit higher, but if you start feeling angry and stuff, switch it up with, like, say, release, so that you can release the anger and then be accepting of it, and then do this so you're not in that negative zone as much. I know one of our girls, pretty sure it was Melissa Popping, who went to the farm and lost her father at one point, and she was doing the tour and she wasn't even going to go on the tour, and Gary saw her and he could tell that she wasn't really with it there, and she had other things on her mind, and he goes, you need Melissa. He goes, you're having a hard time, and she explained that her father was her best friend, like her best friend, and she felt devastated, like literally devastated, didn't even want to get up to feed herself in the morning, devastated. And he goes, start Melissa for like 3 days, more breakfast and night and diffuser, put it on your pulse points, work with it, it'll work with you, and then work through that grief and all that stuff. And it helped her out, it really did. So that's Melissa, just so you know. And then there's juniper oil in here, myrrh, and spruce. So I'm into pine and all that too, so that works really well. But definitely, like, the hope oil, it was one of the really good ones to give me a little more hope. It just smells good. Definitely got a different kind of it's got that piney undertone, but it's also got that kind of lemony smell, which is part of the Melissa, which kind of wakes you up a little more, because all citrus oils are citrus and peppermint are very good at uplifting and waking you up a little more. So we're doing that. And then after I started doing that for like a day, then we started getting word that he did want the pacemaker, and then I started feeling a little more happier that he could actually function and that it'll help him out, instead of just him I don't want anything and I'm done. So that was good, because if he had gone that way, then I'd be like, okay, I need a lot more oils because my grandma's gonna go all crazy, and it's not cool. So anyways, that was that, and I'm sorry this is taking long, but this is like the whole thing that I've been doing for the last week that this thing happened. So then this morning, I wake up at 8 o'clock to my brother's girlfriend texting me and calling me saying he was in the hospital. Bam! Universe said I'm gonna slam me again. So I'm like, crap, what the heck's going on now? Turns out he had issues, and long story short, they think he had a stroke. Now, he doesn't have very good health. He's got liver issues and things like that, so we've been back and forth with him whether or not he's actually going to be good or not good, or if he's going into liver failure, who knows what. I've been trying to get him on natural diet. He was told he needed a Mediterranean diet. You know, he's living with his girlfriend. you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. And that's the case with him. A lot of the times we tell him, you know, you need to cut down on your fatty foods and things like that. And he wouldn't listen. We're like, hey, you need to walk more and do this stuff. Nah, he wouldn't listen. I'm like, hey, I got him a kit. They were kind of doing it. Then his girlfriend had an issue with a vanilla allergy, which was in Stress Away, which I wanted him to use constantly. And he just would not have any of it. And then, so, I mean, he did it a little bit, but because he was so infatuated with her and all that stuff, and that's another story, because I'm not going to go there, that it's just really stressful for him and stuff like that. So, he just wasn't doing what he needed for his health. So then I'm all like, oh my God, what's going on now? So this morning, I went to my go-to, my Stress Away, which is what I got originally when I got my kit, the Stress Away oil. And this is the roll-on one, which has got the one that he can't use because it's got vanilla in it, because of the vanilla allergy she had, which I've never heard of, but whatever. So I did this, and I rubbed this all over my throat because it's pre-diluted. And I actually, to be honest, forgot about this completely for like the last year and a half, because I've been using all the other oils. And I'm like, oh my gosh, go to the base oils that you got in your kit. And that's why they put those oils in the kit, because those are the ones that are the most used and the most beneficial every day during every kind of situation you might end up having during your whole entire life, you know. So I got this out, and I'm like, I made sure I brought this with me today, because I'm like, I have to go in and see my grandfather, and he was freaking out last night. So I'm like, I'm gonna need to stock up on this Stress Away. And it did. It surprised me how well this worked to calm me down and make sure I wasn't having attacks or getting frustrated with people. I mean, of course I'm still gonna get a little bit frustrated, but this made it so that I could be sane and at least be not as agitated. Now, y'all know I have health issues with my feet, or with my diet as well. So I've been irritable a lot lately too, because of the gluten intolerance and things like that, and trying to figure out my food prep and things like that. So it's just been a lot of things thrown at me. And so that Stress Away was a real life send. And I definitely put it all over my ears, because then it started reminding me of when I first got my kit. And the reason why I got my kit was also full circle back to my brother, the one who's in the hospital right now, basically the one that got called this morning, who might have had a stroke. He was having a lot of issues, and I was freaking out because he said that he was going to hurt himself at some point. This was back in 2015. So I'm freaking out, and my friend saw the post online, and she's all like, all right, you're having issues. You need these oils. These will definitely help you. And I didn't want to get them in the beginning because I didn't know. I did not know that they were going to help me as much as they have throughout the years. And I'm extremely happy with myself for actually jumping in, both feet in, taking the plunge, paying the $160 to get my kit and get myself on ER so I can keep getting those refills every month and getting out new ones and switching them out and switching out the chemicals, which also help my health, and basically making it so I can be where I am right now to deal with this stress in a more healthy avenue than taking all the medication that I was taking before and being dumbed down because I have severe allergies to all medications basically, and it doesn't help me. It gives me more problems. So choosing and being able to have these alternate methods of natural uses and things like that is a godsend. And I really do believe that God sent them to me, or source, or whoever you want to say, at the right time that I needed to, and train myself to the point where I can use this right now and not freak out the moment something hits me in life. Because as we know, and everybody else knows, life will be constantly throwing you curveballs all throughout your life. So being able to cope with those, which I know now I wasn't really able to, and I've been going to my counselor too, because that's another thing. You want to be a healthy life, you want to be able to do all these different avenues. So you want to make sure that you're putting the time and effort into all the avenues: your diet, your mental, your physical, your emotional health, your spirituality, whatever gets you there to be able to release those stressors day to day that you're going to have and you're going to run into depending on what you're having. Now, hopefully with this new job, and the stuff, I'm definitely going to be bringing this with me to work, because the first day I was there, last Wednesday, it was just nonstop for 6 hours, just like almost nonstop, because I didn't know what I was doing, and everything was crazy, and using muscles I haven't used before, because I'm up and standing and walking around, picking up pails of paint, trying to tin them, trying to learn new things, talking to new people, trying to get orders in, and things like that. So it was just very kind of overwhelming too. And then on top of that, that's when all this stuff with my grandfather happened, and now with my brother in the hospital, and my older brother's now got a cold or whatever, and he's got issues with all stuff at his house, and his wife's gonna have a baby in November. It's just all going crazy. So yeah, so I just want to hop on. I know this has been a little bit long. We're going on 7:19 now. It's probably been half an hour or more, probably 45 minutes in this video. But I just want to hop on and explain what oils I use to keep me sane. And I'm very, very happy with this company. And I mean, as you guys know, you're in here too. Most of you, if you do have a kid, or if you don't have a kid, if you're on the fence for getting a kid, it's the best choice, I believe, by far, with the best company that you know is the Seed to Seal and things like that. And like I said, if you need to know more about Seed to Seal, scroll through the pages, scroll through all the things, go into the little tab on the left there that says units or learning, and scroll down through the oils. I've labeled them all, men, women, things like that, the different products, the different things. Like I said, I'm trying to get more in there as much as I can, but do as much as you can. I mean, it's the best program you've ever had. Now, granted, right now with financial issues, I can't do the Young Living Go subscription, which gives you free shipping, which I'll have to sign up as soon as I get the paycheck going as much as I can in here, because that saves me a ton of money on my ER orders. And ER is another great program that I'm glad I didn't deny. You know, I'm glad I jumped on that right away, because you earn points right from the first order that you do. And now more than ever before, because when I signed up, I didn't get ER points for my kit order. You had to do a separate order for that. And now, as of last January, I think, or something, you can actually use your first order for ordering your kit as your first ER month, which means you get the percentage back on your order that you just ordered in points for free items right away. No joke. Like, I had to wait a whole nother month before I got mine, which I was fine with at the time, because I knew it was going to help me out and I needed to focus on my oils. But it's even better when you get that right back right away when you order, and you have those points ready for you next month when you want to change up your order and order something else, like, say, laundry, dish soap, veggie soak, toothpaste, yeah, anything really. I mean, makeup, we got this makeup line now. It's awesome, and that's all listed in the thing too, so it's just, ER is the way to go. It's like, I am so glad. I've got so many points. I've used them for the Ninja Red, which is the antioxidant, and reminded me, thank you guys. That's just reminded me I need to take mine, because I haven't been taking it in the last 3 days, and that's what I really need to boost my immune system up too. Your antioxidant Ninja Red drink, because I don't eat properly, and it will help me get the nutrients in my body that I need, that I'm not doing correctly because of all the, day-to-day crap that pops up. And yeah, just like everything. And then after a while, for my Ninja Red, what was it? In May, I amassed $300 worth, and I was able to get 3 months of Ninja Red supply with the little packets, which is like 90 days supply, so 30, 30, and 30 of these little packets for free. For free. That's like $290 some worth of product for free, because I was on essential oils and I was amounting on I was on essential rewards. I was getting these points as I'm buying my normal products for day to day, like my shampoo and my teeth, toothpaste, and my regular oils for sleeping and things like that. And I'm just getting points back just for regular shopping, like going to Walmart. You go to Walmart, you buy your product, you don't get any points back really. And the 24% points back is amazing, and 24% off of the products for retail is just like, you're saving money here, you're saving money there. And then when you order ER, you get free products depending on how much you get. There's different tiers. You can start for anywhere from 100 and go up to 400 sometimes. Depending on what you want to do and how much you want to spend, you even get points back. Like when I usually did 100 every month, just because that's how much I ended up getting. Like I got all my normal stuff that I would normally go to like Walmart or someplace that I don't have to go out of my house. I can just order them right here on the website and they get them shipped to me with the Young Living Go, free shipping. All I have to do is pay tax, and it doesn't matter how heavy your order is, because that goes into shipping, and you already paid for the shipping program separately with the Young Living Go, which was totally worth it. And I'm mad at myself because I didn't use up all my quick order ones, and they totally expired already. And I had like 21 different orders because I didn't do that. Oh well. Lesson for next year. But basically, you get all this stuff, and then like you get essential oil. At the $100 tier, you get one free essential oil. No matter, every month is different, but sometimes, like last month, it was oregano. It was a little 5 milliliter thing of oregano. You can use it with cooking with our Vitality line. Some days, like I think this month coming up, next month for September, it's probably going to be something Thieves for going back to school and being, getting all the yuck out of your system, and making sure your immune system's boosted. So that's really exciting too. And I clean my house and everything else with Thieves, which is, read up on Thieves, and those who already have kits know the history behind Thieves. I'm not going to go into it too much here, but basically, it was about the plague, and these guys who were, these thieves, were stealing items out of the dead people who had died of the plague and not getting the plague themselves. Because these group of essential oils that were combined into this formula ended up boosting the immune system and shielding the immune system to the point where they didn't get sick. So, yeah, it's awesome. And I'm going to have to start putting it on the bottoms of my feet real quick because now I have to go. I've been in the hospital, and I think my older brother got sick because he was in the hospital. He got a cold. And he doesn't do the essential oils either. I've been trying to get him on, but like I said, you can, not the small one I was talking about, but this other one, my older one. So all the stress is getting there. But I'm the healthiest mostly out of all of them, and also with me, the stress has gotten to me a little bit too, because now I have heart palpitation things too. So just a couple days before, I ended up getting a Zytoscan done. And it told me that I needed Cardiogize. And I've never really focused on any of the supplements that much. I just use the essential oils. I'll do Inner Defense in the winter to boost my immune system, things like that. Sometimes I'll do Immu Pro, which has got melatonin in it to help me sleep at night when I'm really stressed out, when I was a couple years ago. But I really didn't focus on things like, because I'm not really familiar with the body systems and things like that, so I didn't really know. But I said Cardiogize. So I did that Monday last week or whatever, and then I went Wednesday to my doctor, and my doctor heard a heart murmur. And I'm like, holy shit, that stuff's right on. And then I was also drinking an energy drink, which I shouldn't have been doing, and I think that also agitated it, because I'm super sensitive now. Super sensitive to shit. So this stuff works so good, and when I get my paycheck in, I'm going to end up ordering that Cardiogize and start taking that, because the last thing I need is, I'm only the line of defense for everybody, because everybody else is like falling like flies, so to speak. I can't do that. I don't have time to do that, and I need to take care of myself. So I'm going to take the supplements and instead of tending to what I have, which is like symptom managing, I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that I don't have it in the first place. So I'm going to do pre-stuff. So like before I get bad or whatever, I'm going to manage it before I even get to that point, so I don't get to that point. And there's a word for it, and I'm forgetting about it. That's why I'm kind of talking like this, because I'm trying to think of the word. Well, doesn't matter now. But anyways, you get my point. So I'm going to get off because it's almost 7:30, and this has gone on way too long. But like I said, there was a lot of things that I was using during different days. I mean, one almost every night or every day throughout this whole entire week. And I've been just really, really gravitating toward all of those oils and things. And they've been helping me. I don't know what I would do without them. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be as sane as I am right now talking to you right now. I can guarantee it. I'd be having issues. I'd be curled up in my bed in the fetal position, rocking back and forth, and not wanting to get out of the house and not wanting to do what I have to do to help my family. And I'm very, very, very happy and very pleased and very grateful that Gary Young sent us these plants and these God-given plants and learned about them so he could share them with us, so we can share them with you guys, so that everybody can use these to benefit themselves and get themselves to a point where they can function in day-to-day life. Because we all know, as the years go on, it gets more crazy and more crazy and more crazy, and eventually we're going to hit a point where it's going to go, I'm afraid. And when that happens, I'm going to have all my essential oils ready so I can be like, okay guys, let's do this and let's calm down. So y'all are good. So I'm going to get going. But for those of you who didn't stop on or didn't do anything, hit replay, hashtag replay or whatever. I'm going to share this on my YouTube channel as well. You can go and see what else is going on. I've done a couple other videos in other groups about other things, and I will make sure that everything is uploaded to my YouTube channel. I still haven't been able to get onto my YouTube channel in 3 months because I've been tied down with so many other things going on, my move here and now all the recent events. So I'll get that up as soon as I can, but I hope the rest of you guys have a great Saturday, more so than I had, but with the oils it helps a lot. And I hope this helped you out understanding a little more about what oils can be used for what products can be used for what, and you know, my testimony, you know, might have helped you understand if you're going through a tough situation too, what oils that you can order or have on hand to use to help you out. Because that's why I do these lives, so that everybody knows, you know, what is good for what, and, you know, get more education out there. All right, I'm going to get going because I'm going to have to get dinner going in a little bit and figure out what I want to eat. I think I'm just going to have some soup. I got some new Progresso soup from the store that I'm going to try out. It's like lasagna with Italian sausage. So I'm going to try that out, see how that tastes. I haven't had lasagna in a while because I can't do gluten. So, all right, I will get going. Have a great Saturday night. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend. And I will talk to you probably whenever I get a chance the next time around, probably after Tuesday. Because I'm doing a boot camp for the business part of the Young Living starting Monday. And I work in the morning, so Monday's going to be a little packed. Yeah, we're going to be doing that. And we're going to get that all organized and kick-started. And I definitely have to put some lavender on this, because this is all starting because of stress, and I need to reduce my stress hormones. And yeah, take a nice shower. That's also what I do. So also, yeah, don't just fully rely on the essential oils. Also change the way you work your life. So do stress relieving activities. But that's also for another video. But this is just mainly for what I was doing. All right, I will see you guys later. Love, light, and blessings. Namaste. Have a great Saturday night. See ya. Bye.